Thank you, Anna. Rhonda, I was just thinking as you were talking, in your very first slide, you mentioned that those beliefs about mathematics, and that one of the things you said was that there's a belief that it is hierarchical, that you have to learn it in a hierarchical manner, that one part of the information builds onto another. And I wonder if that is because you're saying now that one doesn't have to have certain skills if there are other affordances that you can make use of, or other resources that you can make use of to calculate, for example, like the calculator. But if I think back to when I was at school, that we had to get to a certain stage before we were allowed to, almost allowed to use a calculator, that you needed to be able to first do it on your own. And you say now that this is, we need to shift this way of thinking about math and how we learn it, or how we teach it to children.
Well, that's where this is challenging and new, because we don't know whether most people learn mathematics in the order that it's in the curriculum. So we don't know whether the curriculum has emerged because that's the way humans learn it, or humans learn it because that's the way the curriculum presents it. So we really don't know that. There's work that is, there's a lot of work going on in the States and some parts of Australia around trajectories of learning, and so there would be a suggestion that there are stages that many, maybe most students go through. But what I think I'd like to say is not that we want to stop doing that, because it works for a great deal of children. I think it's when we get learners who are getting behind and become further and further behind, insisting that they stick with that trajectory just traps them in a cycle of being retaught and taught, retaught, and never getting out of that particular area. And this approach of using the year level curriculum, making adjustments, allows students to keep moving. And we've seen the results of that, in that learners are engaging with really quite sophisticated mathematics while they have clear gaps. So I'm not really advocating that we do this for everybody, but I am suggesting that it is something to consider when we've got learners who are behind for whatever reason, poverty, illness, whatever reason, just keeping them moving.
Okay, so almost just including some flexibility in that system. I see we have two